Good morning, lovely people. Welcome back. Belinda here. I have a fun I hope it's fun project for you today. I haven't fully fledged it. I just started playing and then thought, yeah, this needs to be a video because I think it's going to be fun. So please join me. I hope you enjoy this. I believe I will enjoy it. Yesterday I was out all day and I took my fussy cutting to do. So this is the Labels from Days Gone By Volume 2 kit from the Junk Journal Studio. So I got a good way through it. I didn't completely cut it out. As you can see, I've still got a few pages to go. But as I was cutting them out, I was really inspired by these circle labels. They're really cool. I love circles. I love adding circles to things. And these have just got the most gorgeous, whoops, we don't want the oval one for this project. Gorgeous art. Can you see that? Hopefully it focuses for you. Just gorgeous miniature art. So I'm going to do a project with the round ones today. I've grabbed out the ones that are the larger size and then the next size down. I'm not using the smallest version of these today. They're a bit small for what I want for this particular project. So these two sizes will work well. Other things I'm going to be using, well, vintage photo distress ink. If you're not an inker, don't ink. It's entirely optional, but I will be inking. I'm going to be using book page. And this is my little secret ingredient for today, is a cupcake liner. These are just plain ones. In fact, that one looks a bit greasy, so I might just pop that one aside. It's got contaminated somewhere. These are old. I don't even know. They might have come from my mum, because mum certainly doesn't make like muffins or cupcakes anymore. Or maybe I picked them up at a garage sale. I absolutely have no idea. But they're just plain white, slightly waxy cupcake liners, muffin liners, whatever you want to call them. I love the sound. Isn't that fun? Maybe you don't think it is, but I think it is a wonderful sound. So we're going to use these. You can use whatever cupcake liners you have. If you don't have any, then just cut yourself out a circle, like out of whatever. Whether you use glassine or, because these kind of remind me of glassine, or just white paper, greaseproof paper, baking paper, whatever you have will be fine. Whatever look you are going for. So I'm just going to flatten it out a bit. Won't flatten completely, but that's all fine. So we're going to be using these, or I'm going to be using these. Now, as I said, I was having a bit of a play. So I'm going to start with one of the ones that I was having a play with. I never actually made anything. I just kind of set things together and played around, and I was like, yeah, we can do this. So get some glue pages ready for gluing. I am going to ink around. So bear with me as I ink. If it's not your thing, as I said, you don't need to ink. And if you're going with a particular colour scheme, you could use whatever colour ink you like. Like if you're doing a blue journal, why not ink with blue? And that would be a fantastic way to tie these neutrals in with your journal theme. Or you might even use a blue cupcake liner or a white one with a blue pattern on. Because I know they come in different patterns and colours and things. You know, fancy ones. Right, so I've also cut out a circle with my 1 3/4 inch, I believe. Let's just measure it just to be on the, yeah, 1 3/4 inches. Punched a bit of book page that's larger than this medium sized circle. So it's not the largest one I've got here, it's the next size down. And then I don't know if this is going to ink up very well, but you could probably coffee dye these as excuse me, as well if you preferred. But I quite like the colour of them because it's translucent. So I'm not worried about it being on the whiter side. essentially what we're going to be making is clusters in one sense. Oh, I should explain how I've done this. All I've done is I've cut one of these, I cut it into half, and then I cut one half into quarters. So these are a quarter. Sorry, I skipped that bit, didn't I? I just jumped right in. So that's how I've got these little wedges of the cupcake liner. You probably could work that out without me telling you, but just in case you blanked or went to make a cup of tea or something, that's how I did it. Right, so you've got this curve here, which is the base of your cupcake liner. So that's what I'm working to, and I'm going to, actually I might not need glue pages, I might go with tacky glue. So I'm going to glue around that roughly inside that circle part. And I'm going to lay on my circle here up to that point. And then I'm going to grab this side. See, I didn't need to ink all the way to the point because it's going to be hidden, but never mind, that's okay. And then I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm not worried about whether everything's level or straight, but if that bothers you, then perhaps line things up and make sure it's how you want it to begin with. Actually, I can do this one with glue stick. So let's do this one here, because it's not going on that slightly shiny, waxy paper. It's just going on book page. So this one is fairly simple. Just simple like that. And that's what it looks like on the back. Now, if you're worried about these coming adrift, you could glue another circle on the back there, or if you wanted it a little bit heavier. I think these would be super cute on the cover of a journal if you wanted to embellish the cover. So let me just grab my journal out here, my January journal, just for it because it's close at hand. You know, if you wanted to decorate up the cover like this, you know, pop it on. I think that would be super cute. It doesn't show up well on all this busyness here, but if you had a plainer cover, I think that would look really cute. Or you could dress up a journal card, add it onto a pocket, you know, all the usual suspects. So essentially it is a cluster. So I've got the other half here, which is just the half of the cupcake liner. Again, I'm going to ink around it. I just love that crinkle. I know not everybody loves the noise of paper and stuff. So if you're one of those that it's really bugging you, I do apologise. Maybe turn down the sound for a little bit when you see me grab out my brush to ink it. Okay, let's go with this one. It's actually the same label I've chosen out here. It's got a crown on it. Just so graphically beautiful. These, of course, are very neutral, so they're going to go with anything, which is fun. That, and I've got a piece of dictionary page here, which is around about the width of my piece here. Not quite half. Sorry, not quite full width is what I'm trying to say. Gosh, my words. This year, I don't think I've got through a video this year without mucking up my words. Hopefully that's not a sign of the year to come, because, yeah. And today I blame it on being tired. Neither hubby or I slept very well the night before last. And last night we slept so well that we both woke up to his alarm. Normally we're both up before the alarm goes off. This morning we woke up to it. I'm filming this on Tuesday, and I was lying there go, why is his alarm going off on a Saturday morning? Because normally it's only Monday to Friday. And I was lying there, why? Oh, I should get up and turn it off so that we can both just keep sleeping. And then hubby gets up and goes in and turns the light on. No, the lights were already on because they automatically come on. He turns it off, and I sort of lay there for a few more seconds, and it was like, it's Tuesday. It's not Saturday. Tuesday. Like, yeah. Okay, so I've inked around the book page, and I'm just going to put a bit of glue on the top of my book page. Like so. And I'm putting it on the book page because the book page is slightly narrower than my cupcake liner. There we go. Now it will curl up, but once you glue it down onto a project, it will be fine. And then we're going to sit this in here up to that curved line like we did with the other one. But with this one, I thought it might be fun to include just a little bit of texture. So I've got some crepe bandage here. You could use cheesecloth or a bit of fabric, a bit of lace, whatever you have, or nothing at all. It'll be perfectly fine without. But I thought it might be fun just to use a little bit of this. So I can probably trim that there. It does leave, you know, bits here and there. So I usually take off a few layers of the string just so it kind of holds together a bit better. That side's got a thing going that way to hold it together, so that one's not going to fray. There we go, that seems to be okay. A few crumbs, and not from a cupcake. Actually, I like those little threads down the bottom there, so I might turn it over. Yep, I like that, so let's glue this on. Perhaps should be using my alcohol glue for this. Actually, I'm going to, because I don't want it to come adrift. I'd rather have it staying put. Let's grab out. So I believe this could be the equivalent to like Fabri-Tac, but I've never had Fabri-Tac, or in fact any fabric specific glue. But I suspect it's an alcohol based one, so I suspect it's very similar. So if you use Fabri-Tac, go with that, or if you've got some other fabric glue or glue that you like using with fabric, then I would probably go with that, particularly because of this waxy quality of the paper, of the cupcake liner. Let's pop that on there. I'm not worried about gluing the whole thing down, just making sure it sticks down and doesn't go anywhere. Now I'm also going to use the alcohol glue on this little label because it's going over top of both the wax paper and the bandage, so we don't want it going anywhere. Hot glue would be another option if you're a hot glue user. I have, I think, 4 or 5 hot glue guns, 3 or 4 minis and a larger one, and then there's one out in the garage, an older one that's huge, but I very rarely reach for them these days. One, because I haven't got anywhere convenient to kind of sit it on my desk and use it. With it being safe, I'd most likely knock it or burn myself because it, you know, or burn something, which wouldn't be great. So yeah, maybe one day I'll have the space again once I get my studio sorted. When, if, you know the deal. Right, so there's another cute wee one, and as I said, that will glue down, like it's not going to keep popping up. Or you could just leave it like that in a journal. It's going to flatten down and it might pop up when you open the page. That could actually be kind of fun, little unexpected pop-up that just kind of does it by itself. But I suspect over time it will just stay flat if it's not glued down. I did think this would be super cute on a pocket. So got a glue pack, whoops, got 2 there, I only need 1. This is one of my glue pages from the book that I glue on with my glue stick, and I just, when they get too gluey, I fold them in half, tear them off, fold them in half, and put them aside to make things like pockets and journal cards, what have you. And then obviously it's not glued right up to the edge, so I then need to glue around it to make sure it stays stuck together. So just take a moment to do that. I had a day out yesterday because it was the first day of hubby taking the car to his work, and I just really wanted to be there to see people's reactions and enjoy, you know, the interest. And I also went out and did a bit of shopping and picked up my prescription from the chemist and things like that while I was out. So I'm just wondering, do I want it right in the middle of the pocket? Actually, that would be cute. Pocket here, and then you could have a little tuck spot or a little pocket in there as well. That could be kind of cute. And then the ephemera that I made last week, which I've still got a couple of pieces of it handy, these with the same label set with the larger rectangle labels. Maybe one of the smaller ones in this could be quite cute, just like tucked inside there. Oh, I like that. I like that idea. So I wasn't intending on decorating up a journal card, but shall we go for it? I say why not? Where's my scrap paper? Were you telling me where it was? I found it, so maybe you were. So we've got neutral. What colour do I want to go under it? We could use something quite colourful. I've got glue stuck on my fingers. This is a bit of book page that I've coloured up with some ink and bits and pieces. Should be the same. Oh, it's not the same width. Thought it was the same type of book page, but maybe it's not. Okay, let's keep this as simple as possible, and I'm going to trim my base down to the same width. I'm not going to collage, I just want to do this, you know, because I hadn't intended on doing this step, so just keep it simple and easy. Oops, lined it up and then it shifted when I put it under the bar. So just take a moment to reline it back up. Okay, now I don't want to end up cutting my base, so I'm just going to whip that out now. Okay, let's glue that on. Just sorry, I went silent while I just had a wee think there. It is from the same type of book, but probably a different Reader's Digest condensed book, so slightly different size. Either that or I'd already trimmed it down, which is probably what happened, because I noticed it hasn't got a raw edge, so I must have already trimmed the torn edge when I tore it out of the book. Okay, just smooth that down, make sure it's stuck nicely. Okay, do want to give it a little thumb notch, so hopefully that glue's not gonna, no, it's all good because I've got a couple of layers under there. It was enough that it didn't act silly for me and just chew the paper. Okay, let's give it a wee ink up here. I'm just kind of going with the flow this morning. It's just like, oh, what if we did this? Oh yeah, okay, let's just do it. Because I think it's helpful. I know I find it helpful to see things being used and how it's one thing making them and another thing actually using them. And I know quite often I just make them and don't show you them things being used. So yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed seeing how I'm going to use this piece. And then it might, you know, give a different... Now this is only thin dictionary page. I'm wondering whether I need to reinforce that a little. So a scrap of white paper here. That would be visible. So no, not white paper. Scrap of brown paper. Oops, don't want to stick it on the front, do we? Okay. So I'm just going to trim it to about the same width as the book page there. This is also quite thin brown paper. So it's going to stabilize, but it's not going to add a huge amount of bulk. And then I actually quite like it poking up and out the bottom as well. So I'm going to put a little torn edge. We're just going to layer things up a little bit more. Hopefully I'm not making it too shallow. Oh, it's still visible top and bottom, so ink this up as well. Edges I don't think are going to show, but I'm going to ink them anyway just in case, and I haven't torn them, so just, it's thin paper so it's hard to ink. I believe I'm inking my finger that's holding it. So please excuse any dirty looking fingers in this process. So it will just be the vintage photo ink. Right, so I want to pop that about there. So I'm going to use tacky glue for this. So I am gluing over top of the ink, but the glue dries clear, so I'm hoping it'll look fine. It's an experiment. I don't need it down the bottom, so let's just wipe that glue off. I think I'll lay it down first and then I'll glue the bottom bit. Press that down. So at the moment I can see the glue, but it should be okay. Right, now I'm going to just whip in underneath here. Hopefully you can see that. Maybe if I turn it around I won't be obscuring. That's going to reinforce that thin dictionary page. Like I said, I hadn't anticipated doing this, so I hadn't thought that through. Okay, I think that is cute. So let's go ahead and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this edge. Glue on this edge. So on the edge of the cupcake liner, just that little crescenty bit at the edge. Right near the bottom. Oops, that one's a bit long, that thread. Let's just trim it off. And I think this one's a little bit large, especially where I've glued it, but can I find... Just one moment, folks. grab out one of the others that I made. Is that too little? One. That one's a wee bit taller, maybe this one. Yes, that one. Right, the rest of those can go back in the container. So there we've got a cute little pocket with this wee miniature label journal card tucked into the pocket. Oh yay, I think that is super cute. Love that. So we've made 2 different types so far. Well, let's see what else we can do using this same sort of principle. Now originally I had thought to just use a whole one, but you see the issue? I could iron it, I guess, but then you lose all these wonderful ridges because it would just end up flat, and that kind of takes away from the fun, I think. I wonder whether I can just give it a, because it's been this shape for I don't know how long, a long time. It's not easily wanting to flatten completely. I mean, you could do it this way, so it curls up. But yeah, I'm not a fan of that full-on curl. So I'm going to cut this again in half. And we could do another one like this. Do it with the frill. Almost like a dress, isn't it? The frill at the bottom instead of the top, depending which way I glue the label on. And I also wondered about kind of like doubling it up. Oops, I keep putting the label the wrong way around. I think because I look at this image and think it goes up that way like it's a sun. But it's a light bulb, or I think it's a light bulb, believe it's a light bulb, and it makes much more sense going that way, particularly with the text at the top and the number at the bottom. I think that's cute. Okay, so it's going to go in and put a little bit of tacky glue just under there. Not sure if it's necessary, but I'm just going to do it. So I'm not fighting with it while I kind of play and fiddle. If I change my mind, well, it's too late, it's glued down. Let's give it a bit of ink, because that helps visualize, that helps me visualize where I'm going and what it's going to look like. Really enjoying, whoops, sorry about the noise, really enjoying using these labels as the focal element rather than the supporting act. I think it's just such beautiful old art. Like, these are vintage labels, probably antique, a lot of them, and the art I think is stunning, as is all the art like in old magazines and things. It's just very appealing to so many of us, I believe. Oh, I need to ink this too, don't I? Were you yelling at me yet? You haven't inked your label. Yeah, this label, just in particular, this one, I always seem to put it upside down, and then it's like, hang on, that's not right. Right. Do I want to add anything else? Got a little bit of bandage. Oops. Little threads falling off. Gonna have to do a pickup from my lap. No, not on this one. I'm not feeling that on this one. I'm wondering maybe about a bit of lace. So let's look if I've got a wee snippet of lace. Yes, I do. Maybe we'll want a little. Just fighting with getting things. Oh yes, I like that. And that's just the perfect bit of lace there. So again, let's grab the alcohol glue. Make sure it stays where I put it. Just fighting with getting the lid on my tacky glue here. Gosh, it's cold today, and it was cold yesterday. It's supposed to be 21 degrees, but it's not there yet. And last night, as we were coming home, it dropped down to 14 degrees, and I think it got colder as the night wore on. And the day before had been like 30, 31, so the extreme, it was less than half the temperature the next day. And we had the electric blankets on last night, and hubby burnt some rubbish on the fire just to generate a little bit of warmth. And all the cats were very cuddly, wanting cuddles and, you know, just trying to soak up the warmth from us. Plus we'd been out all day, so they were like, left us alone all day. Poor Snuggles is not used to the new car yet. We got home and turned the car off, and she was waiting on the doorstep, and we sort of opened the doors and just talked to her, and she's like, "Ow, ow," is like, "I don't understand, I don't get this thing, what is it?" Yeah, so she's not used to the new car yet. Right. It's going to glue on the label, but I'm not sure I'd get the glue in the right place. So let's go with this option. Oops, sticking myself to it. How unusual, not? Oh, isn't that sweet? I love that. That's so cute. On the back of our pocket here, just kind of imagine that decorating up a pocket. Oh, you know what I want to do now? Now I want to do another pocket or journal card or something. I've got this scrap left. Just looking for another base. Just hang on. Yeah, we could make that work, couldn't we? It's the same colour, I know, but hey, it's almost ready to glue together. So let's cut down the base a little bit. I'm just going to put them both in, and if they both get trimmed up, that's okay with me. Just make sure that actually just cut it to the edge that's, oh, that's not going to work. I was trying to do the straight edge, but it's the wrong way around. Okay, I think we're right here. A little bit over. Here we go. And round, and this side. Here we go. Got there in the end. Get rid of the fragments. That saves me rummaging for a different bit of paper to use. Right, glue stick. That's what I knocked over before, was the glue stick. Clatter, clatter. Become very conscious of noises when you're recording a video. It's like, ooh, ouch, that must have been loud. Or, ooh, that was a bit harsh or distracting, or, you know, whatever the source of the noise is. Like cats or knocking things over. Now, I haven't glued this together properly yet, so I will do that later. I won't put you through doing that because I've already done that on camera today. Just have to remind myself to not forget. And I think I might do this one as a journal card rather than a pocket. Or do I want to do a pocket again? I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? And I think I want something in behind it. Another bit of brown paper, maybe. Don't like that. The edge is annoying me. It's just curling up and being a pain. So get rid of it. Only thing I don't like is up the top here it's got machine guns. The clatter of machine guns. So this isn't straight, but I'm thinking about tearing it down anyway. So do I want to actually put it upside down? And that will distract from that. And I could put that along the bottom instead. Yep, okay, let's tear this. Actually, I don't need it that wide, do I? So, trim that up. Give it a tear. Let's ink this up as well. I do so love my brown paper, packing paper, paper bags, wherever it comes from. Super fun. Even if we end up getting, you know, we're out and we get a bite to eat or something for lunch and it comes in a paper bag, I'll tear out the bits of the paper bag that are usable, that haven't been contaminated with food or grease or, you know, whatever. I can laugh at myself. I'm quite, yeah, quite the little magpie when it comes to paper. And I scored some good packing paper from hubby's work yesterday. Some of that yellowy creamy stuff that I it's been a while since I've showed it because I literally only had a few scraps left. And I found 2 larger sheets of it, and so it's like, yes, so happy. Straightened it out, folded it up, put it in my bag and brought it home. Right, so we're going this way up to distract from some of the words, is my purpose in turning the text upside down. And it's just background detail, so I think turning it upside down can help disguise. You know, we try and cover, but if we can't cover, will it disguise it by turning it upside down? And I think in some cases it does. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Right. That down there, so we're covering over our machine guns down the bottom there. I didn't cut that very straight, so I'll fix that. Okay, and I like that just there, so again I'm going to use alcohol glue just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Oops, it's dried on the top, and now I'm completely glued up, just rolling it off my fingers into the rubbish bin, or the rubbish pottle. I've got a yogurt pottle that lives on my desk. That's where I put my rubbish, and it's only like a 750 gram plastic pottle, so it encourages me to empty it regularly rather than let it build up and build up. And it's got a small footprint, so it doesn't take up too much desk space. Right, let's pop you there. had not anticipated making ephemera, you know, full-fledged ephemera at all. So this is relatively flat, so I think, yeah, it's still fine for writing on. But I can always turn it into a pocket later if I decide I want to use it as a pocket. Now I'm thinking something here, but I don't want another label because we've already got a label. We've already got a circle, so I'm not really after a circle either. We do have a number on the label, but I'm wondering whether we want another number. Let's just have a wee look. Like it's a label with a number on essentially. But I don't mind that there. No, that's too bold, I think. We could go with a little. No, too little. It's like a price label, that kind of would work. Or we've got a long one here. Trying out all the options. We could go vertical with it, which I kind of like because it brings it down into this brown paper. Do I like that better, or do I like this one better? Or this one? I wish you could tell me, my friends. I wish you could tell me. Help me out. Which one should I go for? Just having a wee flick through here if there's any other options that catch my eye. No, don't like that one there. Not quite. Not bad, but not quite. I like the colours on that. Kind of blends it in a bit more so it's not so compete-y with this. Okay, I like that one better actually, so we're going with that one. I could have also gone with a word. That was my next step if this didn't work. So even though I just talked about how it's blendy with the background, with the painty paper, I'm going to ink it and make it stand out a little bit more. I know, crazy. Doesn't make sense, does it? But I'm doing it. Right, some glue on it. Oh, I'm going to put it up because I just noticed it's talking about dead sailors at the top, so we'll just quickly smush it up there and cover that little bit. We don't want death on our ephemera, do we? No, it's not happy. Oh, sorry, click click, very loud. Okay, how are we doing on time? Okay, we've used quite a bit of time because we ended up making ephemera that I hadn't anticipated on. So that's the ideas. Do I want to go ahead and make something with this? Yeah, we've got a little bit of time. We can do something. What do we want to do with this one? I'm thinking, right, I need to come up with something different. What can I come up with? Oh, well, that's different. Kind of like just folding it up on an angle, sort of. I don't know, weird, but this just gives it a little bit of difference. Do we like it with the smaller label or a bigger label? I like it with both actually. I'm going to go with the smaller one, and I'm just going to run with this. It's a little bit crazy, a little bit out there, but that's okay. Let's put a bit of glue, whoops, much glue on that, just to hold it down while we fiddle around. And let's ink it up. Sometimes it's just about taking a bit of paper and folding it, playing with it, twisting it, and seeing what comes out. This is not something I had anticipated either, folding it this way. It's like, well, that's just weird. Like, it's not symmetrical, it's not, yeah, but it's kind of interesting. So let's go with interesting, and we'll do our label while we're here. Do we want, where's that bit of bandage? Do we want this bit of bandage there as well? Or maybe a smaller piece of it? Maybe a smaller piece. Grits everywhere. It's the only downside of this is it's, you know, you get tiny little fragments, but I love the look, I love the texture, so we deal with that. Oh yeah, just that little pop of it behind there is awesome. Do we want book page as well? So let's take a little bit of this creamy colour, book page. So this is definitely more like a traditional cluster that you would just use to decorate something. Little decorative element. I'm going to trust that the tacky glue will work with this and just go for it. Tacky glue is pretty darn good. I think it should be okay, but I'll definitely use the alcohol glue with the bandage, given that it's all textured and holy, and you know, let's go, just trying to gauge where I want the glue. There, and then on the back of our label with the alcohol glue as well to stick it to the bandage. I think that is adorable. It's a little bit funky, a little bit quirky, and I like quirky. I think quirky can be really fun. Okay, so I think I'm going to call that a video now. Let's grab back our pieces. So this is the first one we made. Kind of reminds me of like a candy wrapper. Just fun. So we could have, you know, popped that on in the center there. That's a bit hard to see, isn't it? But like in the center. You could even use that as a mini belly band, like have that there. And have I got a little something, maybe one of the labels, just one of the plain labels I've cut out, you know, I haven't done anything with. I'm just looking for a narrow one. Maybe this one, like something like that tucked in. Use that as decoration and also as a little belly band. That could be fun. A little ticket. Yeah, that would be cute. So we've made that one. We just made this one, which again, just you know, popped onto the corner of something, nice collage in the back, or onto a pocket, you know, whether it's a journal card, a pocket, tuck spot, whatever, or a page. Super cute. So I'll give you a closer look of that one. And then we've got this one, which is a journal card. I think this is super pretty. And then this one, which is our little pocket with a pocket on the front made with this piece, and then one of the mini journal cards from my last video using this. I'll try and remember to link that video in the description box in case you haven't seen it and want to catch that one. I love that too. I think that's super cute. Just an idea that came to me as we were working. So there we go. There's my idea for using these beautiful circle labels that are available in this kit. And I've got so many I haven't used yet. And it's a printable, so you can print it multiple times and just go to town, have fun. I hope this was inspiring for you guys, gave you perhaps a few ideas, or just made you want to dig in, grab out your supplies and get crafting. Thanks so much for joining me, and thanks to Michelle from the Junk Journal Studio for this awesome kit to work with. Just absolutely having a ball. It's wonderful. The links to the Junk Journal Studio will also be in the description box, so if you're keen on this kit, you won't be disappointed. It's absolutely fabulous. 20 pages of labels. Go grab it, guys. It's awesome. Okay, take care, everybody, and I'll be back for the next video. See you then.